Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime, but kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we have a perfect day for football. The roof is open, in fact, here at Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. As we get a peek at the former number 2 overall pick, Mitchell Trubisky.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Caught left side by Hilton. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. And we look now at the offense for Indianapolis.
Anthony Costanzo is a former first-round pick who's just quietly gone about his business of trying to be the best tackle he can. Good footwork, lots of grit and determination, and he works hard each and every game trying to keep his quarterback clean and help move some people in the run game.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here on a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Shotgun handoff to Samuels. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. To throw on 2nd down. Love. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. But look there at the defensive starters for the Colts. They really played well in that win last week against Miami.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. First carry for James Conner. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him 6 yards in the first down. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold him to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down. On 2nd down now, Swift. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 12 yards there and a 1st down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only they're controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. On 1st down, it's Samuels. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 2nd and 5. And that is incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll look to run with Conner. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner with touchdown number 7 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Trubisky. Complete to Hilton. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A gain of 13. It's a first down. The numbers from last week for Hilton. 8 catches, 104 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
The throw here going to be complete to Gordon. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now this is Hilton on the receiving end. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty.
Offense.
They get the former number 6 overall pick, Quentin Nelson, out of Notre Dame that time. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. And this one complete right side to Funchess. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Frank Reich here on 4th down is ready to try for 3. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. It's that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. They'll run with Samuels. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves them with a more standard 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll try and run forward with Connor. A strong running. 8 yards, 1st down as they're able to convert.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
On 1st down, Samuels. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. A Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Throwing on 1st down. Love. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead it falls down incomplete. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience is early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. That's going to set him back 5 yards. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. We'll check on his status when we get back. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Operating from the gun, Love. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And Boswell's kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain.
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. The sack by Marcus Hunt. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the second time.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score Steelers 10, Colts 3.
10-3 our score after one here on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. That's taken on the 25. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They got the victory last week. That was against the Baltimore Ravens, and they have the lead here as well. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start the drive with Connor. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. On 1st and 10 is Connor. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Samuels. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. On 3rd down, Love. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 44-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Going to give this time to the tailback. Gets through, and now an opening. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 17-3. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And the Colts coming out now. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They begin the drive on the ground with Mack. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now a carry from Mack. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had a big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll run with a former Ole Miss Rebel, Jordan Wilkins. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. The 55-yard attempt, normally you'd say well within his range. A little surprised he came up short.
And he knew it immediately, didn't he? They are so calibrated, aren't they? They can tell the touch, the feel. When they put the foot to the ball, whether it's going to be good or not, he knew immediately he didn't have that one.
Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. 2nd quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part. But they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. They'll run on 1st down. Swift. And he's taken down inside the 30. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Let's get set lunch.
From the gun, Love. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10. Once again from the 28. To throw again. Love. And his throw's going to be incomplete. James Washington was the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. Love. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And they stop him short of the 1st as he can only get to the 20. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This will be a 37-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football.
Now Trubisky lost the football, and it looks like Steeler football. It is.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense.
That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Boswell for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now on 2nd and 13, Trubisky. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And he's got his man Hilton. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Here's Trubisky. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time. And that'll bring up second down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Here's Trubisky to throw. Caught left side by Funchess. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now Mack. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. His throw caught at about the 5. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pickup there of 20 yards. They've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. Now Trubisky to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores. And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut this to a 17-point spread. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. They're Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. I'm sure he wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that well.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's 50-50, run it, throw it. Sometimes it's just being a balanced running team in terms of who's carrying the football.
More than one guy.
Right, multiple guys out there, and now your guy back there has to throw it. Don't have to worry about it quite as much.
And they've got the lead here in the second quarter. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and they're going to face a third down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 9 yards on the play and a first down.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Coming out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective third down play to move the chains.
Come on, set. 10 Lobo. Get the ball.
On 1st and 10, Love. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Washington. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Love. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A really good pickup of 28 yards. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Well, they obviously red man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
He made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Back to throw. Love got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. James Washington, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Boswell good with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Mitchell Trubisky on his way out, the subject of our players' spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where you see the final score there. Lamar Jackson, 5 touchdown passes, leading his guys to the victory. From there, we head on over to Wisconsin to check on the Packers at home at Lambeau Field. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Aaron Rodgers, 2 touchdown passes thus far. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. 2 touchdown passes there for the former MVP, Matt Ryan. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Looking to throw. Love. And this one's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Operating from the gun. Love. But it's brought in by Washington. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 44-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Ready.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Back to throw. Love. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Ryan Switzer, the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Connor. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Come on, set. 10 Lobo. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Set up.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, Brendan, we always know that once you score one touchdown, you are a failure without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Boswell's kick is good. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
To throw again on second down, Trubisky. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped. So that'll back them up 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Throwing here, Trubisky. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. This is Samuels. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. To throw on 3rd down. Love. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Jordan Berry now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
Too little, cut. He's checking. Crash.
On 2nd and 12, Trubisky. Throw left side complete. That's Mack. It'll be a 3-yard gain.
Oh, yeah.
And that'll make it 3rd down.
Watch 98. 98 to Mike. Okay, just like that.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. They'll run the screen with Mack. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller, since that the screen pass was available, whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Trubisky now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Trubisky to throw again. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road. That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far.
We got this.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
7 yards there and a first down.
First down, Steelers.
Throwing on first down, Love. And he will find his man on the outside. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Looking to throw. Love going deep to the end zone for Juju. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. 2nd and 10. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. On 3rd down, it's Connor. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
On the double. 58 to Mike. I'm here all day. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Ready.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Back now in Indianapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Here's another 2nd and goal, this time from half the distance closer. They'll run with Samuels, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Boswell's kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Trubisky. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky, middle of the field to the tight end Doyle. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but
hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky.
Check 26.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Mack. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Doyle. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down.
Here we go. 70 Indy. Bandit. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Hot.
On 1st down, it's Connor. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's see what you got. Ready. Set, go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And give the tackle to Anthony Walker.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
Ready.
Off the play fake. Love. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Ready. 90. Walk. Run up. Focus, defense, focus. Ready, go.
Back to throw. Love to the goal line, but it's incomplete. A line of scrimmage once again, the 5 as they get ready for second and goal.
Ready. Go.
They go draw play. This is Samuels. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? From the gun, Love. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Deontay Johnson, his second touchdown on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
No, she's singing. She's
on, like, the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colt offense and T.Y. Hilton making their way back out. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Here we go.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Trubisky. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Doyle. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
And a good job defensively. They stopped him short of the first at the 32. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Trubisky. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Check 37. Check 37.
Trubisky will throw. Throw to the right here to Gordon. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky to throw. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play. And
he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Trubisky to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Here's Trubisky. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Throw over the middle, secured by Gordon. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Now it's Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Wilkins. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Steelers, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else in their sanity, as they move to 4 and 6. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Colts, It's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.